What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with one of the most important physique update from the reigning Miss Olympia champion Derek Linsford. So we have seen the progression in his back and how his back is looking absolutely monstrous this time. And also we have seen the progress in his legs multiple times this year. And I think we can all agree that Derek is winning the back shots without any shadow of a doubt. But what about his front shots? What about his weaknesses? His chest and his shoulders more specifically, because those were the biggest criticism on Derek after his victory at last year's Miss Olympia, when he was able to dethrone Hadi Choopan by a very close margin. So the champ decided to fight different variations of the most muscular today, and improvements have definitely been made. And I have to say the extent of improvements, there have been more than what people are expecting, because here is a video of Derek hitting some of these same shots after a workout from his last year's Miss Olympia prep. And I have to say, man, he looks massive this time. And not just huge, he looks more vascular and more detailed in his recent update compared to last year at the same point. So this new video that must have been taken after his chest workout. So he is fully pumped. But that is exactly how we would expect the reigning champion to walk out on the Olympia stage this time. So as the prejudging goes on, maintaining some of that fullness and hotness on the stage, that is definitely going to be a challenge. So after watching this video, it is crystal clear that Derek has put on some real size in this offseason. So another area where Derek was working a lot in this offseason, which also by the way is Hadi Choopan's strongest area, the abdominals, the abs. So Derek's abs also seem to have improved. They look deeper and more separated. But that being said, I am convinced that nobody in this year's Miss Olympia lineup is gonna beat Hadi Choopan in the most muscular and the abs and thigh shot. And I think there is a consensus on that. But Derek will surely be losing those shots with less margins this year. Next up is the physique update of Ramon Foda, the 2024 Chicago Pro champion. So people call him the next big thing, especially in Egypt. And I am sure most of the people would not be impressed by his current conditioning with less than 5 weeks to go till this year's Miss Olympia time, which by the way is gonna be his Olympia debut. But Foda is trusting his coach Stefan 100%. And we have all seen his ability to bring all of his athletes in top-notch conditioning and at the peak of their game. So instead of trying to be ready with 5 weeks to go, Stefan decided to up his food after his last show, which was Tampa Pro. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, all these predictions and all these updates, they do not matter one bit. So what really matters is how these guys are gonna look like on that stage for those 30 or so minutes. And that is what Ramon Foda has been focused on. So I think Foda is gonna be very competitive, especially against those guys who are gonna be in the second call out at this year's Miss Olympia. But again, I have to say only from the front and from the side. The first two mandatories, the front double biceps as well as the front lat spread, they are such money shots from Ramon Foda, some of the best in the game. But even he himself cannot deny that his back shots, especially the back lat spread, that is nowhere close to his front, and that is nowhere close to some of the backs which are going to be presented at this year's Miss Olympia stage, even by some of those guys in the second call-out. So Foda will definitely lose some ground in those shots. But then again, those are only 2 shots. And then we have 6 more. So Ramon Foda is extremely confident that he has what it takes to be a top 5 Olympian in the future. And this is just the beginning for him. Next up, we have a physique update from Korean Baki, one of the most badass looking character in classic physique division right now. So this guy has such a close resemblance to one of the anime characters. And that is exactly why he looks so damn unique on the stage. So Baki will be making his Olympia debut in less than 5 weeks time this year. And as of right now, he doesn't seem like a guy who is gonna be in the top 10. Because the thing is classic physique that has so much talent in it right now. And some of the greatest physiques on the planet Earth, they are the ones who are gonna be in the top 10. At this year's classic physique Miss Olympia, and so many great physiques who won't even be in the top 10. But still, I have to say I am so excited to see how Baki goes through these final 5 weeks of dieting and show up better than ever than what he looked like at the show that he won this year to secure his Olympia spot. So another guy from that region of the world who has some of the best legs out there, amazing quad sweep that allows him to create such a great illusion on the stage. And some of his shots, like the most muscular, like the front lat spread, they are so damn impressive. And he is one of those guys who has that striated chest, which looks really awesome. So 5 more weeks to dial it in for Baki. And I have to say he looks right on the money. And his conditioning even at that show that he won, that looked superb. Next up is the update of one of the best from Brazil, Ramon Dino. So he is finally back in Vegas, training at Flexosis gym. So Ramon is gonna settle really well here, before it is showtime. And with a guy like Flexlois in his corner, training and motivating him, there will be such an additional factor here. So this Olympia means redemption for Ramon. And that is why this is the second time during this year's Mr. Olympia prep that he left his home and trained here at the Dragon's Lair. So this is gonna be the best Dino to have ever stepped on any bodybuilding stage. Because the thing is, he has never done a 20 weeks of prep before. So you expect some of these classic guys to be right on the money in terms of conditioning. Because a guy like Ramon, he has no option but to dig deep and get to that weight cutoff. And that weight limit might be one of the reasons why we always see majority of these classic guys absolutely ripped to the bone. Because they are losing muscle at that point. They have no more fat to lose. So Ramon Dino has been the only one who has really challenged Chris Bumstead in his reign. And that actually happened last year. So I believe Ramon's density that will be back to where it was at last year's Mr. Olympia. And that was the feedback given to Ramon after he lost this year's Arnold. So the other critique that Ramon received was that he's giving too much space to the champion Chris Bumstead on the stage. So maybe Ramon will be back with a different attitude on the stage this time. Next up is the physique update of the conqueror William Bonac, the champion from Ampro Classic Spain this year, where by the way he was able to beat Michael Crizo and Behrouz Tabani. So William Bonac will be looking to improve on that Dubai Pro look, where he was able to beat Nathan Diasha and Rubiel Mosquera. Because the thing is, had he brought that same look to Portugal Pro earlier in the year, he probably would have won 2 shows in this year. So the look that we saw from Bonac at this year's Dubai Pro, that was very polished. He was in a great overall condition. And that is actually the show where William Bonac's symmetry looked the best out of all the 3 shows that he did this year. So William Bonac is a master of peaking for a show. He knows how to dial it in. He knows how to bring the conditioning. And this is such an important year for William Bonac in terms of his career. Last year at the Arnold, William Bonac announced that he's gonna come back to have a final goal and he would like to retire on the Olympia stage. And I have to say the man fully deserves it, as he is one of the most decorated bodybuilders, especially in this era. 2 Arnold Classic titles, as well as several top 5 finishes at the Olympia stage. So William Bonac hasn't really talked about retirement, especially this year, and maybe him getting that big prize money at this year's Dubai Pro, which was 40 grand. Maybe that forced him to rethink his decision. So do you guys think William Bonac is gonna make top 10 at this year's Miss Olympia? And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.